Good morning. I'm higher vibrations and so are you. There has been such crazy things happening, right, guys? The Schumann resonance, I put it up on the community section for those of you who didn't have a chance to catch it yourself. I'm going to show you the picture real quick. This this is not typical for the Schumann at all. I've actually never seen this, and I've been following it for a while. So on this side, this is pretty typical. Like you'll have this kind of stuff. This is right now. Like, do you see that? It's just here. Let me get a better. This is a zoomed in version. So look at this. Check that out. That is some serious activity going on at this moment. Happy Father's Day. And wow, there's a lot happening. I'm just going to go ahead and welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining today. Hi, Jackie. She says, hi, Pamela. You, what the heck is that? Like, looks like DNA. I know it looks like DNA, doesn't it? Like, it's just so cool. It's really exciting. The Schumann resonance, for those of you who don't know, is a kind of a heartbeat of Gaia. It's a way of kind of keeping a, like, what was it called? EKG or something like that of Gaia. And so it shows us, where she's at. It used to, for the years that I followed it before it had any activity, it was typically around between 4 and 14, closer, usually 6. I almost always, it was like 6 or 7. And then during the beginning of the lockdown, a bunch of people migrated temporarily to Joshua Tree to do a big meditation. The Schumann spiked 800, went to 800 for the first time I'd ever seen it do that. And then at that same time, they were still releasing you could see where it was being pinpointed. So they can actually tell where this increase is happening. And it was happening around, they weren't as pinpointed as they could have been, but it was kind of a broad area. And in the center was the Joshua Tree space. So that was really cool. So you can see that you really do make an impact. You change the world, and as an individual. So let's start from the top here and just say hello to everybody. I'm so happy to see you all here. Thank you for coming. Vanya says, hello, beautiful souls. Is there a purpose for the debilitating lower back pain I've had these past few days? I'm really struggling. This is the wing stuff. We'll talk about it after I'm finished reading your comment. Are all ascension symptoms meant to incapacitate us so much? No, they're really not. They're growing pains. And so just like when you're growing up and you're having growing pains, if there are methods that you've learned to kind of help manage it, you can actually make it more tolerable, though at the same time, what's interesting about this particular symptom you're talking about is that the intolerant, or the level of it, of intensity of it, when we relieve some of the symptom, we don't actually see that we've relieved it until it's already until it starts to come back again. And so it's kind of hard to say. So yes, it's not supposed to be debilitating in this way at all. One of the things you can do is that you can ask, like, you just, like, straight up talk to your higher selves. Thank you for the donation. For the first time, I finally get it, says Metaphysical Mike. I keep self-sabotaging because I feel lonely and been doing stupid things for attention to fill an empty void. I'm so happy that you've gotten it, Mike. I'm happy that you're able to join us today. Thank you for the donation. That was really generous of you. I appreciate it. 555. And so as these symptoms come through, allow yourself to ask your higher self to turn it down with a knob. So I visualize it like an old school radio knob, and I turn it down from 100 to a more manageable level. That always helps. As well as other methods and tools. The main thing is to ground your energy. People are going outside for that, and that's really great. But I'm also finding it really useful to do that with water. And so just keeping that in mind, that does help. So what's happening with the back is that we actually have, so throughout our every one of our joints, including every vertebrae in our back, there's a chakra, a whole chakra system, and that's all coming on. And at the same time, you're getting your wings, and there's 3 sets. Turns out I had no idea too. Like, whoa, though. So there's a top one, middle one, and the bottom one. At least that's as far as I can tell so far. There may be more. Who knows? This lower one is almost always a precursor to this particular experience. So that this incoming wing experience. I'm going back to metaphysical Mike again. Um, the sabotaging, the self-sabotaging and kind of burning bridges thing that a lot of us had been doing for a long time is starting to come forward for a lot of people. I'm so happy for you, metaphysical Mike, that you had this experience. Like, as we do it, we kind of, and there's something else that we do that you brought up, and thank you for bringing it up, Mike, is that um, it's manifestation. The manifestation power has increased. And I'm sure a lot of you started to notice, but maybe not exactly understanding fully what's happening here. And so, one of the main precursors to this is, or things that we want to consider when we're doing this, is that most of us, many of us, have been conditioned to plan for the worst case scenario. So as we plan for the worst case scenario, what we're actually doing is we're saying, "Hey, universe, I want that to happen. Can you help me out?" Because we're doing this repeat in our head and we're manifesting it. And so often we're choosing, we're asking for undesirable circumstances. And so keeping that in mind is really helps us to be able to be in alignment. And also the last part of that really puts makes it work the best is that when we're able to be in a place of gratitude, the place of love and gratitude in our heart. I just saw another orb over there. I don't know if you all noticed it. Um, we all have a lot of orbs around us. They're everywhere right now. It's a little bit outside. I actually thought there were a bunch of insects like there, and no one else was seeing them. My daughter could see them. My daughter's also awakened, and there are these bugs. They're everywhere, and then I didn't really want to walk through this cloud of bugs, and then I saw that they weren't actually bugs. They were orbs. There was a whole bunch of them. They're little light. They're small ones. They're little teeny. It was really weird, but they're everywhere. And a lot of us are getting this eye thing. I'm having this. My eyes are really sore. It's as if I like rubbed sand in them or something. And like I even had, they're kind of pink. It's just the strangest thing. This eye thing that's happening for people. Um, Vegan Vixen, hi everyone. So much love from Wales, UK. You'll be pleased to know that my acute anxiety has been lessened somewhat. Hooray! Although I have extreme fatigue, as I'm sure most of us have. Oh my goodness, the fatigue right now. Holy on a stick. I am a little bit overwhelmed by it, to be truthful. I'm just in that place. It's just like, oh, please no. I want to feel rested. I miss feeling rested, and so um also strange sensation of wanting to throw up everything inside me, although I don't feel ill or sick. Weird. Yeah, okay. I had the same thing that you're talking about right now, Vegan Vixen. I just had it recently, not too long ago. Um, and it was coming in and out for a little while. And then finally I just gave my consent to just, okay, I didn't intentionally cause myself to vomit, though just I gave permission. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And I kind of was moving toward the bathroom, and then my body's like, okay, thanks. And what was really strange, this was the weirdest part, is that how there's always like this like recovery period right after that type of activity happens, like you're just feeling icky and just I didn't. Like all of a sudden I was rejuvenated and revived, and even though it was midnight, I felt like, painting the house. I'm just making some random thing up, but just I felt very motivated. And so it's really interesting. This area, this is dominated or controlled or whatever you want to call it by the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is one of the areas of our body that we're really being um, we're all noticing a lot of activity. Solar plexus, the yellow one, the golden one. Just below it, we have the sacral chakra, which is like this beautiful sunset orange color. And then below that's the red, ruby red root chakra. These three chakras are the ones that we, as the star seeds that we are, haven't spent much time working with. And that's why it's kind of like they're all in flux and stuff. You're all really good at the upper four, the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown. We all start to awaken up and we're like, oh, I got to focus on opening my third eye and focus on all this meditation and its frequencies and everything. And your third eye is good. Your third eye won't be able to open any further until you're fully able to open your root chakra, your solar plexus, and then that sacral chakra area in particular, the one in the middle of those three, is the one where most of us store our inner child. And so there's a lot of neglect feeling sensation there that it just wants to be seen. It just wants to know that you see, and so that's something that a lot of us are having in this stomach area, gallbladder, liver, kidneys, this whole area here. So Um, Cosmic Onion, it's so good to see you. I've missed you. That's really cool. Hello. Spiritual warrior, has anyone looked at the Schumann? Yes, I know, right? Spiritual warrior. I don't know if you were here when I showed that image. I don't. This might have been pre going live. Yes, Schumann's crazy. It's got a crazy pattern today. Lots of sacred geometry. It's incredible, and I like the comments before. It's as if it's like a DNA strand. It looks very very similar to that. Hello, Esther, spiritual warrior. Yes, Donald. Hello, everyone. Wow, did you guys hear that lightning strike? My tomatoes died last night. It got cold enough that it killed my tomatoes. This is this where we had a record high just a couple of days ago. This is just the most crazy season this year. Kara, sorry. Kara felt energy rise yesterday. Yeah, a lot of us did. And did you all notice how everyone just came out of the woodwork and just wanted to engage with conflict? Like it was like it felt as if the world were in such a need to reach out that there was a desperate social forcing thing happening. I literally couldn't go anywhere without being collected around all these people that were just following me, and I really needed a time of my own right then. That's what I was doing. And just forcefully talking, and then I have to go, and walking away and being chased, being pursued by people who want to chat and shouting, finishing their story. Hey, it's 12:12. Just stuff. I've been given the messages. This is important. I've been given the message for a while now. Um, in fact, I've been waiting for this particular month for 5 years. I have reams and reams of these spiral notebooks full of messages and information of channel messages about this month, this particular month. Um, and it always says that when we come to this moment, to there's two elements, but the main one that I want to bring up is this is a time to go in and go within. And what they mean by that is to not go out into crowds if you can avoid it. If there's a way that you can be in this space and this place without having to go into large public areas, at least for very long, is what's being guided. And to go into meditation. You don't have to go into your house. It's you're not hiding from people. It's simply if you can avoid large crowds, do so. And I made the mistake of going out yesterday and I knew better. And yeah, whoa. And it's just going to amp up. The other part of the message is that there will be a lot of people reaching out, reaching for you. And this desperation that I was experiencing first off yesterday, but it's going to continue. And they say, and this is Archangel Michael, do not go to them, for you too shall be lost. People will come to you like a magnet. So allow yourself to be able to take your time to center yourself and let yourself use this time now for healing. The reason it feels this way, okay, is that all of a sudden now all of this light is coming from every direction. We have all these portals that are inside the earth now. You can go down in there in meditation and jump into a portal and go someplace else too. It's really crazy and awesome. However, the other part of it is that, oh wow, I totally lost my train of thought. That is something that's been happening so often lately. It's kind of driving me a little bit crazy. Um, yeah. So there's that. There we go. So let's go on. Nanad says, "Hello, you are alive. In short, I feel like Frodo from the Lord of the Rings and look like a zombie. A big greeting to everyone. Namaste. Welcome. Good to see you." So yes, I actually agree with you about that. I found so for a while there, I had crystals. I always had crystals on my neck and crystals in my pocket, and yeah, they're really helpful. However, I started getting the message that it would just the Frodo, however that the neck, it was like cut into his neck because it was so heavy. They were like, "Come on, dude, unencumber yourself from some of this stuff, knowing that these are tools. They're not power. You're the power. They amplify your own power, and so just to keep that in mind." Yeah, I totally agree with you with that. That's really interesting. Donna, hello. Donald, welcome. Cosmic Onions, good to see you, sweetie. Anya says, good evening from Norway. Welcome. Marcus, here we go. Hugs from Donna, 101. 101, Carmen? Oh, I didn't see a 101. It must be a person. Must be Carmen today, huh? Hello, everybody. Welcome to see everybody. I'm looking for any. I left work an hour early. I can't hold my body up anymore. Spiritual warrior says, "Yeah, there's been a. It's like it's kind of like someone like pulled the behind your knees, feeling this exhaustion, this profound exhaustion, just needing to rest. And that's another notation of what we're being asked to do. Go within. I remember when there was a whole bunch of downloads the first time, the real big all of a sudden uptick that happened in 2020. I remember there were a lot of like moments where all of a sudden I would have a headache that required me to close my eyes. I felt the need to nap a lot more at that time. Not that I could nap. I could close my eyes for a short time, more and more and more. And that was because they were giving us downloads. They were giving us things. They were healing. We were doing things. And so we're being reminded to go into meditation, to go into rest, and that it will help you. So, Aya's healing space. Hello, everyone. My first time joining. Well, welcome. So happy to be here with you all. I'm really happy you're able to join. And really quickly, I want to point out that in the description of this video, there's a link for our Telegram group. It's a really awesome community of spiritual individuals, of empaths with all kinds of different abilities and skills and different varying degrees of how long they've been in this awakening journey, who have a lot of experience too. So it's really useful. We're called the Light Bearers, and it's a Telegram group of almost 300 people, I think. Anyway, so if you're interested, connect. That's one of the biggest things about right now, is to go within and be within, and also allow yourself to reach out to others like you. And another method that you can do that in is to join our Zoom meetings on Fridays that we do. The Fridays will always be free, and that's from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please check that against your time zone to find out the correct time for you. Also, I will be starting very soon to do smaller groups with a small fee of $15 per person per session. It'll only be 6 people, 6 seats, and that'll make it so it's a more intimate situation and more people can join. And that couldn't afford the $33 an hour that I do for my one-on-one sessions. These are all just my examples of how to reach out and connect with others. There's a lot more options and places out there. So, Donna says, "Hello, all kindred spirits. Maybe it has something to do with the new moon. Hum is loud and clear. The hum is loud and clear this morning, as is the ringing. Weirdness near temple left side this morning." I've been having temple stuff too. Excuse me 1 minute, please. Pardon me. We had all this smoke in our area from the forest fires. I'm really happy that we're having a storm. It's going to clear out all the smoke, and maybe my lungs will start to feel a little bit better. I found too, I got this message that through a lot of this smoke that we're actually being given an amplified doses of light through the smoke. And I don't know exactly how that's done, but it's really cool. There we have a lot of things happening right now astrologically. We have the new moon. It's Father's Day. It's almost the solstice. We're actually already feeling the portal for the following month. So next month on the 7th, because if you use the numerology method to add up the year 2 plus 2 plus 3 kind of thing, we're in the year 7, right? And so that particular day will be 777. And so it's a really intense portal, and a lot of us are already feeling it on top of just everything else that's happening. It's really amazing and really cool and exciting, but it's really draining. It's exhausting. And also, it's bringing out a lot of like tension kind of feelings. It's like my experience is mostly when I'm trying to get away from groups of people that are just like accosting me with socializing, like it's just a thing where I just feeling like real like tension and just weird energy, feeling like you're gonna like lash out at people. PMSy is another way of saying it. No matter if you're male or female, this kind of thing a lot of people are having. It's not just me. So Varian, drink lots of water. Stephanie says, yes, please do. This is a big deal. While we're getting all of this amazing energy, it's plasma. The light is plasma, and the light is love. It's all light. It's love. It's God, and the plasma moves through our system, moves through water more efficiently than any other part of our density. And so this will help you when you increase your water intake. Remembering too that you'll also notice that there's still a need for, you'll still feel thirsty, is because your body also needs these other things that are found in teas and juices. Most of us, many of us, have found lately that our diet has changed to mostly liquid diets. Not everybody and not consistently, however, more and more. Um, and it's not seasonal. At least here, we've had some crazy back and forth. Like we're back to autumn again right now out there. My tomatoes died. It's so bizarre. My tomatoes died in June. Um, so there's just a lot. So yes, water, tea, juices, um, and I've also noticed that the use of salt in my diet is being requested as an increase. So I'm doing that as well. Salt baths help, but you actually eating the salt really and adding it to my as an ingredient to my diets. My diet really helps. Hi from Sweden, says Teresa. Yes, interesting Schumann today. Yeah. Holy cow. Aya's healing space. Love you so much, Pamela. I love you too. I'm so happy that you're all here today. Today is a day of celebration. Like it doesn't feel like it when our body's like, "Ugh," like, and at the same time, we know there's this inner knowing, there's these moments of like poof, panic, like hits you as on its way over, like, oh, excuse me, sir, kind of thing. And it's not yours, it's not your anxiety, it's not your panic, it's not your depression, it's not this is stuff leaving and moving through. And so as it does, we kind of lean into those moments and think, oh, is this like a sign, or is it telling us that there's something to be worried about? And it's not. You are golden, you are set, we're all in this space together, and there's some cool stuff happening. Sure, it's a little feels a little disruptive, but it's also amazing and long lasting. So, Carmen, I'm making you as a moderator too. I hope you don't mind, buddy. I like having moderators because I don't have to worry about it. Um, let's see. Anyone else? Teresa says, anyone else got an itch from time to time that moves around? I've got I've got one on my heels, for example, not something I used to have. Yeah, actually, you mentioned that. So right here, I'm talking about my hand. However, also on the heel, this area, there's something up. I'm also noticing wrist. Like it's really strange. There's not a mosquito bite or something like that. But it feels like a mosquito bite. Similar to it. It's an itch that needs to move. So what we're doing is 1222, so 222. There's a lot of like motion being requested for us, guiding us to do motion, small motion, but motion in any way you can, like qigong as an example. Just as gently dancing, using music to get your body to move. And this is also like when we itch or when we rub, we're doing the same thing. We're helping move things through our body, right? We're moving. And so like I noticed that for me when I bathe now, when I'm cleaning myself, it's more of like there's a certain motion and direction, like I'm following the meridians of my body without even thinking, oh, that's what I'm doing. Someone mentioned it the other day and I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing. Hey, there's 100 of us. That's so cool. Thank you all for joining. So there's just a lot of this kind of thing. Also, we're having skin related stuff like rashes and weird pore stuff, like actually having like acne like sensations and symptoms. However, most of them are not quite acne. Art Mystic, uh, Dipika. I'm sorry if I didn't say that correctly. Hi, Pamela. First time on live chat. Though I watch your videos regularly. Look, welcome. I'm so happy to see you. So helpful in this this transformative times. Happy to be here. I'm happy that you're here too. Thank you for joining us. Eric says, I've got all these symptoms, but I have been getting this cold sensation on the top of my right foot. Right. Again, it's the divine masculine side. Like I put some kind of cooling pain cream on it. It's really bizarre. This makes a lot of sense to me. So many of us, like we talked about a little bit earlier, have spent so much time on our upper four chakras that we really not spent a lot of time working with our lower chakras as well. And that doesn't mean that you haven't done it recently. What they're showing you when we get this lower part of our body, it's like reminding you to keep doing it. It's like you're having two colors of things come down equally and you're addressing this one color for a long time. When you go back over here, you have to go back a few times to address what's not been dealt with. And that's kind of what they're kind of using as an example. And so this has to do with grounding. This has to do with allowing yourself to, when you're in meditation, pulling the light down from God, and then to dig the energy, and not like you're reaching and thinning out your energy. What it is like an enjoyable stretch. It's like, like, and letting these root like energies that are coming through you dig down into Gaia. And as they dig down into Gaia, they connect to these little pockets of like milky white, translucent kind of love stuff. That's all these rivers under the planet. It's really amazing. And that will really help with those types of symptoms regarding feet, all the feet stuff, as well as ankle, knee. A lot of people are having the shin one, so in the middle of the shin, so you have your shins here, like right in the center of it. There's like this like achy sensation, almost to me. When I first had it, it reminded me of um, growing pains. I was like, are my legs getting longer? Which is possible, but there's this something going on with that. Um, Let's see. Jackie says it was 111 there. Wow, really? Okay. As healing space, I woke up with a big pinhole sized mark swollen in the middle of the front of my neck and deep bruises on my legs. Any thoughts? That does sound like that you had some assistance. Many of us regularly have moments where these beautiful galactic beings, ETs, different types of individuals come to help you. You can choose to give your consent or take your consent, like remove your consent. There are no contracts. Like you hear this all the time and it just drives me nuts. There are no contracts, there are agreements. A contract is a word that was given us to use in order to make us feel less powerful, to make us feel powerless and out of control of the sensation. So it's an agreement. It's easily changed. There's no you signed a line and you're stuck doing this kind of thing. So knowing that you can remove your consent, they do come, many of them. And so those are the ones I give my consent to, will come and actually give alignment, give balancing, give help us in a lot of ways. I know throat chakra is something that's being worked on a lot right now. This area of our body is like mouth, this whole area right here is an area that a lot of us are working through. Our just years and years and years of not being able to speak our truth, be our true authentic self. Witch trials is an example everyone always makes. There's variety of things that are very similar to the witch trials that just aren't discussed or remembered exactly, and that kind of thing. And so we're working through a lot of this stuff. Just a side note. So this week, I've talked to several different people on just like one-on-one kind of it call. And this is really, really common right now, is the sensation. It's usually noticed on the ear, but I see it right here. And it's like an energy that goes down to the shoulder. This is the right side usually, though everybody's experience is unique to them. And so yours might not be the right side. I'm noticing lately a lot more divine feminine left side stuff. That's just what's just happened with me, though you may be having this. And so the method is to solve that. So you look, you know how the crooks of your neck or whatever that's called, where you're, where the beginning of your shoulder starts, there's an energy that wants to move out and out like this, like straight out. And so allowing it to do that will unencumber a lot of the stuff that we have going on with this throat chakra. And so you're having a lot of throat related symptoms, issues. And it sounds to me, I would say for you, I had that. It sounds very much like you had somebody come help you today. The bruising shouldn't occur. So that could have been a mistake. I know that that's what's happened to me where I've had some finger print marks on places that maybe I was about to fall and someone tried to grab me, because they do sedate us before we come back. And how you know if that happened is almost always you'll find yourself, you'll wake abruptly in bed, and then it's not like you're feeling like you're being pushed down. That's a different sensation that many of us have early in our awakening, while we're being taught to use our energies. What I'm talking about is you just feel drugged, but it doesn't feel like deep like anesthesia. It's not like that intense. And then it'll wear off really quickly, but you still kind of feel weird and groggy for a second, then you're clear minded. That every time. And the need to get up, like you feel like you need to stand up, or you need to every time, at least this is my experience, that is always a telltale sign that something occurred. If you want to know more about it, I found that the most efficient way of doing that is to talk to my higher self and kind of request more information. The first few times of the first event that I really wanted to lean into, I was afraid for a long time, so I didn't really want to know. And then I finally did, but I still had a lot of fear associated. So my higher self said I wasn't ready, and I was really annoyed by that answer. Once I got over a lot of the fear and concern about it, when I asked again, then I got the answer. I got to see some of the stuff. So that's my take on what you had said. So perhaps it's something else. King of Nothing says hello, hello. Um, Atma says, yes, I've had the marks behind both elbows and top of my legs. It's really common to have it also like right behind your shoulders. Though the legs are usually where bruising happens. It's usually the legs. I don't really know what that is. And it's always very noticeable, just odd markings, the way that it is. It's not like you bumped into something, and you probably would have remembered if you bumped into something that hard. Kara says, sons and I were guided to stay on farm this weekend and hold space. Good. Spent 2 days sorting Legos. So fun. Yay. Carmen, I love you. Hi. I'm so glad that you did that, Cara. That's really important right now. Danita says, good, blessed afternoon, Pamela. Good to see you, sweetie. I'm happy that you joined us. Felipa says, hello and lots of love. Hello, welcome. Sarah says, has anyone been having vomiting and diarrhea a lot? So we talked about vomiting earlier. I don't know if you caught that part. It's the not every when it was brought up, the comment hadn't said that they hadn't vomited, but they felt the sensation of it. I have vomited. It wasn't sick. It wasn't being sick. It was a different thing. It was you could tell it was a purging because after it's over, I'm good. Like there's no recovery of it. Like when you usually vomit or are sick after the fact, there's this recovery period, and I didn't have it. All of a sudden I was like, zing, cleared, yay, let's go build a house. I keep using extreme examples. I think I just sorted the laundry, but I had motivation. I don't even know if I did that. What did I probably did dishes. John says, so much love and light to you all. So good to see you, sweetie. Welcome. Portugal travel. Hello from Portugal. Hello. Welcome. Schumann is at 185 right now. Really? Oh my goodness. Thank you for telling us that. That is really amazing. Where did you get your reporting, Stephanie? Would you please, if you wouldn't mind, put it up? So here is, okay, I go to disclosurenews.it/Schumann resonance. And that's what I'm going to show you right now, the picture of it. It's really, and it has 185. Why won't it? Come on, just cooperate. There we go. So it's 185. And you still see, it looks like so now we're in the blackout, right? So all this crazy activity occurred, and then we went into blackout. Now, really quickly, I'm sure many of you already heard me say this, so I'm not going to take so much time to talk about it, but I've been following it for a long time, and a few of us had, and it's become predictable that when it spikes a lot, it will go offline. And it feels very much like an editing or censorship kind of thing. So just keeping that in mind, you can feel it in yourself. I've used the Schumann resonance for a long time as a way to validate my experience. It's like something crazy is happening. All right, let me check this out. And then, yep, validation. Something crazy is happening. She goes to the Russian site, Stephanie says. Amplitude was from a scientist notification on TikTok. Thank you for sharing that. It's really neat. Rawbox, thank you for the donation. That is so sweet of you. World peace and love. Aho. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know if I finished with the diarrhea stuff too. Just really quickly, we're purging. We're getting it out. It's going out of our body. We have a lot of stuff in our system that doesn't resonate with us any longer. It truly doesn't. We aren't able to fully before, it was all stuff that was perfect for us. It was like part of team body. And then as we moved into this higher frequency, you start to notice the things that are like kind of not helping you anymore. They're not really doing anything for you. Physically, your body's like, okay, you go. And so we're purging. Not to mention a lot of these things that are considered toxins that aren't exactly poison or anything like that. It's simply things that our body is in alignment with. Doesn't work for us. You can get it from the air, from the food, from the ground, from whatever. It's everywhere. And so it's not like you did anything wrong, okay? But your body is trying to get rid of it. It's purging through. I remember a lot of people were asking, there was a lot of stuff about people wondering if they had IBS at one point, and it's happening again. It's just this thing. On top of that, noticing your skin, all the purging through your skin. We're not just talking about what we are talking about as well, is this acne-like sensation, as well as this weird sweat. And what I mean by weird is the text, it doesn't feel like regular sweat. Like it feels different, and it's stuff that's leaving our body. There's other ways that it's leaving. A lot of us are noticing a lot more coughing. This for me, I think is more to do, not entirely, though, more to do with the smoke in the area that we've had here. I was noticing it before it too. It's just there's something's coming out, and now I talk about I need to cough again. Our brains are magical things. So yeah, a lot's happening. Major nausea is what Stacy said. Exactly. There's a lot of that happening. Cara says, I so love the pictures on the wall behind you. You often change it too. Your daughter's drawings have such a beautiful light around them. Thank you very much. I love my daughter. She's amazing. She decorates my house. I'm a kind of a minimalist, and she's not. And so you go into her bedroom and it's like holy stuff everywhere, but yeah, she decorates. And I actually posted, if anyone's interested, some of the drawings of the ETs that we interact with in our community section, or not, excuse me, in our Telegram group. So if you are interested in the Telegram group, there's a link below, and there's a section. It's like ET contact or something, I think I called it, and it's the drawings that we've produced after interactions and fun things. So if any of you are interested in, it's kind of triggering in a good way. It's like it activates. It's like, oh yeah, when you see what you've experienced but kind of forgotten, it brings it to light and helps you. So thank you for saying that, sweetheart. I just love my daughter. Nancy says, yes, right calf cramps last 4 hours. Yeah, okay. So, and then the cramping as well, bumping things, sorry. The cramping as well as like the twitching and the incredible muscle spasms, like Charlie horses, just really intense ones. This is a density leaving kind of thing. I don't know how many of you have done like transmutation like healings, but you'll notice when you do that, you'll notice that your body kind of starts to shake and like twitch and stuff. That's the density coming out. It's like having a screen like you have on your window like that, and spraying water from a hose through it. It like shakes, right? As it's moving through, because there's some kind of resistance. It's okay. It's not a wrong thing. It's just how it happens. And it's a shaking out. That's a message from Archangel Michael also. He called it the shaking out. And for the shadow cannot stand before the light. And so as the light's coming in, the shadow's leaving. And so a lot of us also will notice a lot of like gassy, like burping and that kind of stuff. And Jackie, I think she calls it bum burps when she has flatulence. Just really funny. And so like this gassy kind of stuff. And also while we're bringing in more light, we notice that the density that leaves is about this size, right? I'm just making up a size for an example. And then when it leaves, then it becomes this size of air, often water and air. And so then you have like this Buddha belly kind of thing going on. Your tummy just like it feels, it's like, where did this come from? And then it leaves pretty quickly, but then as we slowly let these densities leave. When you're having these sensations, the best method is to send light to it, guiding light to it. It's already going there. It'll do it automatically. However, you want to occupy that space, right? For any space that is empty will be taken by someone, right? Or something and some energy. And so just choosing to have it be the light really does help. So what I mean by setting the light there is in a meditation kind of space, noticing the light coming down from God. It doesn't always have to come through your crown. It can come through anything, any part of your body. I a lot of times will have it come through my heart chakra. And then watching with your mind's eye and imagination kind of way, visualizing this white light being guided down to the area of your body that's being affected, watching it light it up. with your mind's eye. And it really, really helps. It really, really like an immediate result. It's really cool. So if you would try that, that would be very useful, I expect. ZK, I was feeling PMSy earlier, feeling high energy coming in. Did a meditation and definitely got some help. Feel more grounded now and no pain in my upper back and neck. Awesome. I'm really, really happy. Good job. And using this example to see, you're able to move through it, to transmute it, to expand the energy in the way that it's needed so it can be released. And grounding is the most useful thing to do right now. Like truly, if you can't get out into nature, if you can't go stand on the ground, fill up a bucket full of water, take a bath, do the dishes in the sink. Interacting with water is very, very grounding right now. Like I actually said that I was going to put a bucket of water for my feet to be in, for that grounding thing. And then I realized I might have electrical, problems. This splashes. So, another thing that I've done throughout many years, recently, a couple of years ago, the psychology world noticed it too, and they're calling it earthing, is bringing soil into the house. Excuse me, speaking of burping, bringing soil into the house and allowing myself to put my feet on top of it or play with it with my hands. I did that just because it was something that I was really depressed. I had seasonal depression, and I was looking forward to gardening, and I was trying to lighten my mood. And it got better. And I found out that if I do that, at that time, I was doing it once a week where I was playing in it for, 15, 20 minutes. I didn't have seasonal depression anymore. It was just gone. And then I started to do it where I'd put my feet on top of it, and I would kind of put my feet in it, like wiggle it. It helps. All of a sudden, no more seasonal depression. And it's called earthing. It's a whole science. However, a lot of us discovered it long before they discovered it. So it's something that's been there for us forever. That's why the pores on the bottom of your feet are the most. Hey, there's 111 people here. That's cool. And 55 likes. Synchronicities everywhere. There's another orb. Okay, so we have Craig plays games, been falling asleep earlier and quite fast. And when I do, I've had dreams of being in the military. I was flying a big attack helicopter. The dimensions are changing daily. Thank you for sharing that, Craig plays with games. Yes, there's been a lot. If it weren't for my daughter still being awake, I would be going to bed a lot earlier too. I've been saying that for a couple of days now. It's like, wow. I need to kind of get my kid to have a regular schedule. She does. It's just not regular for anyone else. It's regular for us. Oh, wow. There's a lot more comments. YouTube is so interesting how it does this. It tells me I only have 3 comments, and then all of a sudden. And so if I miss any of you, I apologize. Random and intense stomach cramps and diarrhea the other night. Craig plays with games. There's all this stuff that we're moving through, and that we're purging it. We're letting it out. We're releasing it. There's another really important thing that a lot of us are doing, and a lot of us don't realize. We have this superpower, and that is through tears. The release through crying, or laughing. Laughing creates the same kind of an experience. There's this long old tradition that I like to follow. I found years ago. It's called laughing yoga, where people just laugh in a group with each other, just laughing on purpose, with the sole objective of laughing as long as they can. And once someone starts laughing, you start to laugh and you forget why everybody's laughing, but you can't stop. And it's really awesome experience. That's called laughing yoga, and it's an old practice, and it improves your health in so many different ways. And it's just so releasing, and releasing through tears has the same sensation, same release, probably a little bit more powerful. I've been crying with in joy and in love, as well as in sadness on occasion. But though mostly for me lately, it's been the past few years, it's been in joy and just, wow, people are so cool. I love you all, kind of crying. So if you can allow yourself to cry, if you can't, put on a good comedy is my example. Just a lot of cool stuff like that. Let's see. Stacy says, who's controlling the Schumann, though, is my question. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. Like, I don't know. I don't know why it's being, if it's noticeable, the Schumann's obviously spiking. So I'll go to check, and then you'll see that it had some kind of activity, like it was about to spike, and then it's offline. Either it's being censored, or we're having such large spikes that it's actually kicking it off the system. Recently, not too long ago, we had like a 75-hour blackout, I think. I can't remember. That was the last I looked. Stephanie, if you're here still, I remember that we talked about it. Do you remember how long that was out? Welcome, Aya. I don't. Oh, sorry. Atma says, welcome, Aya. I don't have bruising, but looks like injection marks, but not small and don't heal. It's too precise to be skin related. It's all good. Yeah, it is all good. There's some upgrades and helping that's happening. Bigger picture, who's putting it? Oh, yeah. Who's putting it online? That's a good point, Stacy. I do know that it's in alignment with my experience. And then when it's not available, it's kind of frustrating. I don't need the validation so much anymore, though. In the earlier stages of, not even earlier stages of awakening, however, just earlier stages of speaking out, and like, validation's really, really useful. That's why these communities exist, and why they help people so much, is that if you hear somebody else is going through something, or you have a way of proving that what you're going through is real, then you can pull away from the paradigm of, am I crazy? A lot of us have like this, like, conditioning to automatically think that there's something wrong with your way of you know interpreting information as it goes through your body, rather than it just being what's happening. And so this really helps to validate. Edward says Epsom salt and Florida water baths. Yes, Epsom salt baths are really useful. I use the pink Himalayan Epsom salt. And it's just something. If you don't have Epsom salt works. Any other kind of salt works, though Epsom salt has a lot more stuff that helps you out. Like, I find that I can tell the difference after a bath. And also allowing yourself to be in the bath while you're speaking loving, kind words to the bath water. You're changing the frequency of the water. There's a whole science behind it. And you're creating love water. And then that love water can then help you in a much stronger and lasting way. It's really amazing and beautiful. Jenny says, I felt like that too, nauseous. Then massive headaches off and on for days. Got messages to not attend large event, though I did. Headaches, long sleeps, New Zealand, much love. Jenny, thank you for sharing that. Coconut water is magic / plasma. Coconut water, yeah, that's a really useful one. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, so this same thing. I had the same experience. In fact, this storm coming in is really a gift to me, because it's Father's Day and there was a big picnic event that was supposed to occur, but now it's going to be lightning and rain, and it's been canceled, or at least postponed to next weekend. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. I don't want to be I did plan on going at least for a time, though my whole body was like, duh, do you really want to do this? Yeah. So if you can avoid large groups, if you can't, I was going to go do it. I was, so if that's something that you need to do, then, just take precautionary measures, meaning like allow yourself to notice your soul spark in your heart. It's this beautiful white spark. Sometimes it's as small as the head of a pin, and sometimes it's quite large. And when you breathe in through your nose, you're breathing in the love of light of God. When you breathe out, notice it expand and grow with each breath, like a balloon, and get bigger and bigger. Before long, it's the whole size of your entire energetic field. My energetic field is around 200 feet in diameter. Most of us have quite a large field. When we're holding ourselves in, we're kind of like, stay away from me. We tend to be more like 75 feet, 50 feet in diameter. So there's a big expand. What I'm telling you is that when you let this white light grow to what you would expect the size, you know, if you have an inch or two on the outside, it's fine, whatever, But what I'm saying is, this is like an energetic shield. And only those that are in the same resonance with you can enter that space. It works. It really works. And it's really useful. So if you do have to go out, it's like a buffer or a filter for like the crazy energy. Because remember too, there's a lot of people right now that are coming online. They're waking up for the first time and they're going, what? I've been lied to and this and that, and all these crazy people are right. They're not crazy after all. That's got to be a big pill to swallow, right? Rob and I live in I lived in Utah. That's so funny. I don't any longer, but I almost said I did. For Aya and Robin. That's awesome. Booty burps. I like that, Vegan Vixen. Yeah. Kelly says, hope you were feeling better, Vegan Vixen, and the others who were feeling down last week. Yeah. There's so much coming in right now that I hope you utilize what's coming in. It's coming in to help you to heal all these things. And that's why they're popping up everywhere. But remember, you don't have to heal all of them all at the same time. They're saying, you can heal me too. Heal me too. You can do all of us. Look at me. That's why all this stuff comes up. All of these unhappy maybe, or things that we don't want to look at or we had ignored and pushed away for a while kind of stuff just pops up, almost like flashbacks of PTSD kind of things. That's not what it is. It's the stuff that's ready to be healed. And allowing yourself to focus on a specific thing at a time, you'll find that you'll be able to heal most of those things in this window of time. That's why it is the way that it is, so that we may heal it. All this stuff is coming in because as we heal, so this is really useful to know, is that as we come in as a soul coming in to be incarnated as into a body, we pick trauma. We're like, I'll take that trauma, that trauma, that trauma. Okay, let's go. And then most of us star seeds went, I'll take the lot, and then, excuse me. And then all of a sudden we find that we have all of this trauma that we need to heal through. And the reason that we've done that is there have been many people who have come in who've taken trauma and not healed it. So the next time that they came in, there was the same kind of trauma and more added to it. So they'll notice to do it and more before they knew it. It snowballed so much that they couldn't address any of it. It's like walking into a clinical hoarder's house, like true hoarder, and be like, where do you start? Kind of thing. And so we've come in picking up the traumas that have been left unhealed so they can be healed, so we can ascend in a collective way. All of you have already ascended. You've ascended planets. This is your mission, your ability. You can do this. You've done this before. And we're doing it again in this planet. And so as we heal each of these things, it's amazing. That's why the last part of the healing, so you're like, going up there, and then all of a sudden it goes, ooh. Like, it's really like that last little bit of healing is just like really intense because you're healing all of this other stuff. Energetically, what it looks like are these little like cloudy, almost looking like kites all around the planet. And it's an echo or a residual energy of someone who had been incarnated who hadn't been able to heal something, and they're connected. And what we're doing is we're helping them to go. We're releasing, we're healing, and we're allowing for everyone to be unencumbered, to leave behind their baggage, to pull up their anchors, and to get to ascend in a collective way. And that's why. And that's also why right now we're being like given all this lights, like, here you go. Here's a bunch of stuff for you to do it. So, because we're almost there. We're there. We're at that time. We're almost there. And now here we are. This is the window. This is the time I've been waiting for, and it's meant to be a gradual thing. So many will find like they're needing to practice patience because we know these things, but all these other individuals need to get the chance to catch up a little bit before we can take the next step. And you can continue to take the steps up the stairs. It's just that we won't get to the top together until it's time. Oh, that's okay, Stephanie. She says she doesn't remember. That's okay. Yeah, it's been an official disclaimer of a cyber attack, but the symptoms are undeniable. Yeah, exactly. There's just so many different things that are occurring with the Schumann, and with also I've noticed too that the solar flares don't seem to be reporting as accurately as I expected. So it's kind of fascinating. Excuse me. I am just Kelly, I think I should go to the bottom because I have to let's see. Robin said, wait, hold on. Jana says, anybody else experiencing paranoia? It's been 2 months for me at night. I wake up 5 or 6 times per night and I'm literally paranoid. It's crazy. I'm not myself. I'm going crazy. Okay. So this paranoia kind of stuff often comes through when we are first experiencing our motion into this next frequency. When we do that, all of the stuff that's like the fears or the things that we're kind of still holding on to, they show up. That's what I was talking about. Heal me, heal me, heal me. And it's exactly what you're discussing as well. Usually these heal me things come up when we're in quiet, um, and that we're not being disrupted. So right now it's in the middle of the day. It's just an hour past midday here for where I'm at, and energetically it's like this. Like there's all of these lines of communication, thought forms, and everything from everybody, because everybody's awake. Everybody's doing their world right now. And then as people go to sleep, they become less and less, and then they're not as thick, so there's spaces in between all of these, and it's easier to access these things that are being sent to us, and meant to assist us. And so now at nighttime we're able to be in this quiet, and here comes this stuff that we're meant to heal through. So this paranoia stuff is actually really common, especially if there's been a lot of conditioning in the family, which I had, um, of just, thinking that a lot of these things were considered like evil or wrong or something like that. So there's a lot of this tug of war kind of stuff happening. Remembering too that there are groups of individuals who are ETs. Most of them, the vast, vast, vast majority of them are not this way. Most of them are loving, um, and service oriented, service to others, and there are a small group that are service to self that do find the use of being able to consume fear pheromone. The fear pheromone is something that they eat like their food, and they often will do like psychic attack like stuff in order to produce this food that they consume. I don't know why I have an alarm going off right now. Sorry about that. Um, and so this is something that we can actually change by just simply knowing that that's something that individuals do. Um, we can just knowing what it is. It's easier to handle what's in front of us, right? And to go into love in your heart, and the easiest thing to do, think of the person or the individuals in your life that you love the most, and then in your heart, in your mind's eye as well as your heart, even in a place of panic, this is easily done. You can say, what does it feel, get ready in yourself to say I love you to them. And that love, it comes right here, it comes up right here, and when we speak it, it goes like this and it moves to them. And so go into this place of love, and when you do that, it's actually a weapon, Jana. It really is. It's a weapon. When you send out love to things that aren't of love, it's a repellent. They are repelled from your experience, they flee. For shadow cannot stand before the light. Love is light and light is love. There's no separating the two. I think I might repost that channeling message from Archangel Michael, because it's meant for this month. I'm gonna repost it in a little bit here, a couple of hours from now, if anyone's interested. I do not say that any of it, the content that I'm going of that particular video is very well done. This was early in my YouTubing, so but it's useful information. And fun fact is that if it is of love, when you send out the love to it, then it will return the love in an incredibly amplified way, where it just like all of a sudden it's like, wow, the love. And like I always cry. It makes me cry every time. It's like, wow, it's so beautiful. So yes, you're welcome, Jenna. I'm glad that was able to help you. I'm used with anxiety, or she's used to anxiety. Had generalized anxiety for 25 years now, but the paranoia is pretty crazy. Yeah, so if you would use that method, that should assist you. I would. It helps me every time, um, especially right now. Right now, we're having a lot of stuff happening where there's like, yeah, Carmen, the dark night of the soul kind of stuff, and so What the dark night of the soul it truly is, that wording is so archaic, and I really can't wait till we move past that wording because it's not accurate. It's really the light being shown on the soul. It's as if you go up to an attic or a crawl space in your house or something like that that hasn't been looked at for a long time, doesn't have lights, and bring like this really bright light, like just suddenly completely filling the whole place. And then you can see, oh, I got cobwebs over there. I got a pile over there, things that hadn't been cleaned out for a long time. And then we find part of that happens to be like a shedding of relationships. So we end up shedding. We realize that both parties, ourself and the individual, had been forcing a relationship, and not always am I talking about romantic. We're talking about friend and other family members and stuff like that. And you just kind of agree to part ways, and that part is often the most difficult because we often feel as if we are just alone and isolated and abandoned, which is another reason why we have these groups. The Telegram group, it's full of people from all over the planet. There's always someone awake. There's always someone available. Also, I do offer one-on-one sessions, though a lot of the people are noticing that they're not able to get in because people are scheduling ahead. So if there's somebody who is in great need, I have been able to accommodate people here and there and make space here and there throughout my week. And so if you're interested and you can't get on, please email me. I'm happy to do what I can. I'll work with you. And I love you all so much. Where we're at right now feels really like we're, unstable, and a lot of motion and movements happening. This motion and movement is for us to be able to let go of the things that aren't serving us, to look to move past the things that aren't helping us, so we can move farther we can reach and expand farther into the light that you truly are. That's why you've always felt funky in yourself, in your own skin, is that this isn't really ours. We're not here as an individual who expects to be in this density. And that's why the vast majority of us have weird trauma in our birth experience when we were born. Most of us were like, never mind. Nope. That's a whole lot of nope, and then there's always been archangels and different guardians and stuff like that have come in and said, hey, please, would you please stay? Because we could really use you right now. So, um, yes, Vegan Vixen, thank you for saying that. If you would please hit the like button, that really does help. I'm surprised. I'm annoyed that it's true that the number of subscribers and the numbers of likes and the numbers of comments that you have on your videos really does help. It helps get the message out. And that's the goal of this channel, is to help people. Like if it was about money or popularity or something like that, I wouldn't be engaged in it at all. It took a year to get for Archangel Michael to convince me to do it, because I wouldn't even do FaceTime phone call, let alone be on YouTube. Here I am though, because it's a it's making it possible to help other people. And so yeah, the more likes that we get, the more comments and the more subscribers that we have, the more that YouTube says, "Oh, people like this. Let's show it to more people." And then more people can find the light, find out what's going on with them, that they're not crazy and not alone. I love you all so much. I apologize for not being able to address every one of your comments. Thank you all for being on this lovely journey with us. And I meet and do this live Q&A every single week at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So this time, an hour from this time right now, every week on Sunday. Unless something comes up, I'll post it in the community section before. Stephanie says, Pamela, you are a treasure. Thank you so much for all you do for us. Thank you. Thank you all. I love you so much. Please don't give up. It's intense right now. Meditate, drink water, ground. And I'm going to post a few things in the community section, these high frequency, awesome videos that I have on YouTube. They're just music and just pretty colors in the background. that really, really help us in this time. So if you would look into the community section, you'll get to find these. I love you all so much, and I will see you soon. Aho blessings.